I'm Jamie Costello with your WMAR 2 News Update. As more of Baltimore's youth fall victim to violent crime like the double shooting that we had, a local nonprofit is making it their business to engage the city's youth by a thread that connects all of us. WMAR 2 News' Kendall Green shows us how.
Before they ever step foot on a big stage like this to showcase their talent, it starts in a lab with a laptop, production software, and an idea that comes to life. 7th grader Devontae Poole is learning what that creative process feels like firsthand. He already wants to make it a career.
My favorite part is making the beats for the rappers.
That's the access and exposure Robert Levine, the founder and director of Beyond the Natural Foundation, had in mind when he created the program. These students are in the program's Introduction to Songwriting and Production class. And students front and center,
kids who may not have had any exposure to the beat making process, how to compose music, and we're giving them just some of the foundational tools so that they can get engaged in the process of creating original music content.
He says this is an avenue he created to pay it forward as a Baltimore-raised producer and songwriter himself. Hopeful students get the head start in music production he wished he had as a child.
Hopefully it sparks a deeper interest in music so that they can take a deeper dive in seeing how they can explore music and use it for themselves to build their futures. That's our job as we go through doors, opening up doors for those coming behind us.
Sadly, those doors of opportunity for some of Baltimore's youth are being nailed shut by violence and crime plaguing the city, which is in part why Levine wants to remove those barriers to success in music as early in a student's life as he can.
We don't want them to have to try to figure out what if, or could I have this, or I see this over here, can I have exposure to that, and is that something for me? And they spend years wondering what if. For me, I'm all about exposure, breaking down barriers,
and filling their time with skills and habits that will produce the future they desire to have, one song at a time.
That's less time where they're not being productive and being constructive in their communities and things like that. So it's really important. It's how we can really do our part in trying to clean up the streets, getting kids back in the rec centers, getting them, applying themselves to something meaningful.
In Baltimore, Kendall Green, WMAR 2 News.
All right, for information on how to get your child involved with the Beyond the Natural Foundation, we have a link to it on our website. That's WMAR2news.com. And while you're there, you can click with us all day long for top stories and breaking news. Also for news and weather. While you're on the go, all you have to do is download the WMAR 2 News app in the App Store, where you can watch live radar and get breaking news sent right to your phone. Thanks for watching. I'm Jamie Costello.
This WMAR 2 News Update is sponsored by Jones Junction,